What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, this sparring debacle. Okay. Tyson Fury has responded, and he had this to say. He says that he says that Anthony Joshua or any other sparring partner will not be allowed to hit me in the face. He won't be allowed, they won't be allowed to hit me in the face because he fears his eye could reopen, and he won't risk sparring to the head. Okay. So of course we know last year Tyson Fury withstood two major cuts in a fight between him and Otto Wallin. Okay. And it was a very challenging fight for him because of these cuts. And he fought, I think, 10 rounds? 10 rounds with these cuts open. It didn't get any worse. I mean, it didn't get any better. It was one of those things where they could have stopped the fight. Okay. I don't know how the rules would have been if they would have stopped the fight, maybe a no contest or whatnot. But I believe I think it was made by a cut. Those cuts, because it was two bad cuts. You know, one big cut, then a smaller cut under that. You know, it kind of looked like a rainbow, like cut because they were right beside each other, which makes it difficult to stitch up after the fight's over. And it takes a long time. I think it was 47 stitches that he received in that because of that. He doesn't want to spar to the head. Now, the tripped out thing at this point is you accepted Anthony Joshua to come into your camp. And when he didn't hear anything, he just assumed Anthony Joshua was not going to take him up on it. Because Anthony Joshua offered. He accepted. Anthony Joshua got quiet, I guess, doing all the other stuff that he does, being him. So he assumed that, hey, maybe he's not going to do it. He's a chicken. He doesn't have the balls, the bollocks, right, to come in. But I wished he would have, because I would love to get in the ring with him and show him what's up so I can, hinder his career. I would give him such a bad beating. Well, obviously so, if he couldn't hit you in the head. You know what I mean? It's crazy how people would think that Tyson Fury would just dismantle Anthony Joshua in sparring with headgear on, and it just shows you that he won't be fighting or won't be getting hit in the eye or any of that thing into the fight because he doesn't want to risk it. But I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, you did WWE, you did all this other stuff. I guess in the contract, he told Strowman, hey, stay away from my eye. You know what I mean? Because, all that stuff's fake. But I think that with Tyson Fury hearing that Anthony Joshua did tell him, hey, no, I'm coming. I'm still coming, champ. I think that he made this because of that. Because here's one thing you did not hear Tyson Fury say once he picked his sparring partners. You did not hear this newfound information. This is just recent. This is straight off the press. He fears that his eye could reopen and won't risk sparring to the head. Okay, well, why didn't he come out with this information when he picked his sparring partners? That's why I think this was made simply because he heard that Anthony Joshua was coming. And since he's coming, Anthony Joshua can't hit him in the head. Otherwise, why didn't he say that when he picked his sparring partners? Hey, I got my sparring partners, but this will be different type of sparring since I've picked my sparring partners because they cannot hit me in the head. I don't think that was a rule for them. Those rules didn't apply to them at all because this wasn't big news then. That would have been the news that would have been reported at the time because it would have been stipulations with his sparring partners. But since Anthony Joshua said, no, don't worry, champ, I'm still coming because you accepted. Oh, now you can't hit me to the head. because of fear of a wound or some wounds that might be reopened. What are you implying? That Anthony Joshua punches harder than your sparring partners, than your novice fighters that you've selected? I mean, that's what it implies, because he wouldn't have made all of a sudden this new rule or law all of a sudden after Anthony Joshua said he was coming. Makes you think about that, right? Because it's one of those situations where Tyson Fury could very well be afraid that Anthony Joshua may hinder his career by reopening those cuts. And if those cuts become open, the fight's off, people. That fight is going to be pushed back. And while probably won't be to probably April or May at that point if it ever got hit. Now, it is smart to have that type of stipulation, especially if you're worried about your eye. But the problem is you weren't mentioning this when you picked your sparring partners. You weren't mentioning this when you're doing all this WWE shit. You know, it was just like, okay, well, and then he was saying in that, well, it could be ripped open. What do you want from me? If it's ripped open, we have to prolong the fight if it's an injury. But then now it's, oh, you can't hit me to the head. Now all of a sudden you're concerned about your eye where you weren't before. It was just something that could happen. Well, if it happens, it happens. That's the attitude that he had before. But now, oh no, don't hit me to the face. Especially after Anthony Joshua is supposed to be coming in the camp. And I don't think Tyson Fury would turn him away. I think this is a way for him to deflect Anthony Joshua coming. Because the moment Anthony Joshua reads this, I'm like, oh man, what the hell? You mean you can punch me in my face and I can't punch you in yours? Dude, them damn stitches have been healed. What was that in September? October, November, December? Those are 3 months, right? Those damn stitches are healed by now. I didn't even see scarring on Tyson Fury unless they had makeup on him in the press conference. That could have happened. But it didn't appear that those cuts were that bad. I couldn't even see the stitches. So they did a really good job, that the surgeon or whatever, or whoever stitched him up, did a very good job on that. And it shows you that those damn stitches have healed. Okay? So I don't think that this is a necessary thing that he's really concerned about now. Because if he's so concerned about it now, why wasn't he concerned about it a couple months ago when the cuts were less healed? You see what I'm saying? It would be more back then. You would think, okay, in this WWE, hey, I cannot allow this to happen. Then certain things you can't do to me because I'm worried about the stitches, because the stitches are healing, not healed. They're healed now. They were healing back then. Okay? They were in the process back then. So it's more delicate back then as opposed to now. Now all of a sudden you're worried about getting hit now since they're healed. It makes no sense. It's just too convenient that Anthony Joshua would respond the way he did. Then all of a sudden we have this, oh, he fears that the eye could reopen, so won't spar to the head. So were you going to punch him to the body? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you would get the best of Joshua, I think, at that point if he couldn't hit you to the head. Joshua's a headhunter a lot of times. He's not really big on body punches, right? You know, he's not Andy Ruiz, right? But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Tyson Fury's newfound rules and sparring to all sparring partners. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.